Do you support the deportation of illegal immigrants?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
Okay. She's saying she doesn't.
If they're illegal, then yeah.
Dang, she said, what are you talking about?
Do you not support the deportation of illegal migrants? And why not? He does and you don't.
She doesn't, but he does. So he just said he supports deportation of illegal immigrants. She says she doesn't.
It's not illegal.
It's not illegal. What a stupid. Liberal gaslighting, 2025.
Okay. If someone crossed over the border illegally, should they be deported?
Look at this pussy. Don't do it.
I'm not too sure
Wow. Yep. That's a weak man right there.
about that.
Hope I didn't just ruin their relationship. Do you
Well,
support?
Hopefully you did, because the less liberals produce, the better. But this dude right here, this is a coward. This is a lot of what's wrong with men in the West. This is why we live in a gynocentric society. Patriarchy needs to come back. Men, if you're on the left or the right, it'll still work. Basically, you have to have morals and you have to stand for them and you have to believe in them such that you are willing to stand your ground. They have to be similar to your boundaries. Your morals and your boundaries should go in lockstep, and you should not change them for any amount of sexual interaction, romance, intimacy, hugs, and kisses. It is not worthy of trading it off. And this man, as you see, he made that fatal mistake. He looked at her in the eyes, he saw the double chin, and he was like, you know what? Even though she's like a 5 out of 10, it's still not worth losing. So I'm just going to go ahead and change my entire political stance so as to not embarrass her, so as to not risk getting any poon tonight. This is the epitome of what's wrong with the West. Men have basically contributed to the downfall of society because they keep acquiescing to female behavior. What you should do instead is start having higher standards for yourself and standing your ground. Politically, relationally, they're one and the same.
$75 a month, and you haven't met anyone yet.
No, actually, technically, the 50 is Canadian, so I think it's like $35.
How much do you pay on Hinge?
I think it's 35 plus 25.
So her friend is basically putting her on blast because she's literally paying money to find a match, but she can't find one. Why is that? You know that this woman is being picky on the dating apps. Your average woman basically swipes left vastly disproportionately compared to men because they're extremely picky on dating apps. But this is actually increasing the price of your average woman. That's why women feel entitled to say they're the table. I am the prize. Don't ever ask me about my body count. That's why they're starting to get more brazen, They are completely disregarding any market force that should compel them to behave a certain way. This is wrong. What's wrong with feminism? Hoflation is real. The average cost for a basic woman has gone so much overpriced that men are starting to consider women luxury items. And this has bad implications for the dating market because men are going to consider women not so much of a necessity anymore. They'll see them kind of like something to rent out, something to lease, but not something to purchase. That is generally what would happen in a lot of markets, like for housing, for example. If housing gets more expensive, then renting will become more appealing. Well, if purchasing a woman wholesale, and in this analogy, becomes more expensive, then men are going to consider renting, alternative, pornography, parasocial relationships. They might lean into more relationships with other or platonic relationships with women, but definitely not one where it's like, oh, I gotta spend money, I gotta do a wedding, I gotta buy a ring, I have to purchase a home for. They're going to start considering it less of a investment. But there's actually another effect of that is the boyfriend and girlfriend time frame will get further and further stretched out. And marriage will get kicked down the road. The men will constantly just say, we'll just do it later, because he's less likely to take a commitment because it becomes really expensive to maintain a relationship, to do all the demands a woman is asking. So that's another thing. Not only are women asking, hey, where are all the good men at, but also, hey, why won't he marry me yet? Well, you don't have much leverage. It's too expensive. It's not worth the investment to the man. Because think about that. What does it mean when a woman let's just say this woman right now, what would you give this woman? I give this woman like she's like a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. She's having trouble dating people. It's not just because she's average, it's also because she's extremely picky. I can guarantee you this. This woman is making she's getting at least 50 matches a week. At least 50 matches a week. But she's swiping left on all of them because she's looking for a 6-foot-tall dude who, just got out of Columbia University and he's going to start his filming career soon. She's looking for like an exceptional man because, generally, women tend to date up. It's just how it is. And what they select for is different what men select for. So this is just more proof of this Bible verse right here. The love of many is going to wax cold and cold the further it goes. The closer we get to the end times, the apocalypse, Armageddon, Revelations, people are just there's going to be less marriages, less families, less loving relationships because people are starting to transactionalize every aspect of their lives. Case in point.
Some men, most men.
I'm just swiping on.
If we didn't have CEOs, then but
here it is. It's crazy, bro.
You're right. I do think that people that
Let me mute.
businesses earn the most profit and they don't do shit.
Shut the hell up. Look at these niggas in the back. Look at this. I could tell it's a nigga from the moment I heard the damn smoke alarm in the background. This is exactly what I was talking about. And literally the next thing I scrolled to is this stuff. Women do not need men. The audacity. When you're hypergamous to such an extreme extent, you start to overvalue yourself because the height at which you're reaching, you truly believe you can get it. On top of that, add that with all the social media validation that men give women. All the attention that she gets from faking the way she looks, wearing something to contort her body to make her boobs look a little bit bigger, or to hide her rolls. All the sexual attention that she constantly seeks and receives. Because you're not introspective and you're not self-aware, you're going to become hyper delusional to the extent where you're going to say, you know what? The men who build like the roads and like air conditioning and who make the ice maker for my latte, the men who, like, if I don't feel safe and I call and they come with batons and weapons, we don't actually need them. We literally don't need them. It's late stage feminism. There you go. Late stage feminism.
Ladies, I need us to lock the fuck in because I think the T-app is kind of proving the whole looks matter, nothing else, black pill philosophy correct. This is a pattern I've noticed. It's very prominent on the T-app where it'll be like 2 guys and they both have very similar complaints, right? I just saw 2 guys next to like back to back and it was like they both were cheaters, riddled with STDs, they got around, they were manipulative, whatever. One was very average looking and one was objectively hot, like just a hot, very good looking guy. Arguably, the good looking guy's accusations were way worse. And under the average looking man, his comments were like, ew, he's so gross. Of course, stay away. Ew, ew. And under the hot guy's comments, there were maybe like 1 or 2 confirming the truth. And the rest were just like, he's fine. What's his at? Hey, he's so hot though. Who is this?
Yeah, you kind of saw that coming. Basically, she's explaining, hey, you guys are actually proving the black pillar is right. Because the black pill philosophy is basically that women don't necessarily care about much if you're not attractive. And if you're not attractive, you basically can't do anything. You're doomed. So that's kind of why looks maxing became a thing, because it came out of, it's like a way to black pill, but looks maxing was a way to try and get better looking. But she's basically explaining you'll have 2 guys, one guy who's really attractive and one guy who's not. They both are cheaters. They're both scumbags. They both have STDs. When the woman is warning other women to stay away from the average looking dude or the not so average looking dude, the women are like, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, POS, piece of SHIT. Go ahead, girl. Like, yeah, let's shame this man. Yeah, that's gross. But the guy that's attractive, remember, same scumbag, same evil person. The women are still joking or flirting. Oh, what's his at? Oh, yeah, he's really handsome. They completely disregard everything that the T-app person is exposing. Basically showing that there's just a dark side or a dark nature to women that men should be aware of. And feminists Beta males, white knights would have a problem with this because it doesn't make women look good. Women don't want men to see the darker nature of them because it makes them look bad. But when you think about it, it makes sense. Women like to wear makeup. They like to give the illusion that they look better than they are. They like to make themselves look nicer than they are. They will say, "Hey girl, how you doing?" But behind her back, they'll talk shit. It's kind of congruent with their nature, if that makes any sense. For anyone who stayed towards the end, appreciate you watching. I'm going to be posting more content. I appreciate your support. Keep a lookout for more debates, more commentary. Thanks for stopping by. Hit the like, subscribe button. Peace.